Attention, passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run, a power shift that could leave division rivals stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. All right, folks, today we're diving deep into some intriguing developments around the Dallas Cowboys, especially as we approach the heart of the NFL offseason. The Cowboys, as many of you already know, are in the final stages of their spring practice schedule, with organized team activities, the OTAs, having wrapped up recently. The mandatory minicamp is now just a memory, but the roster moves and strategic decisions are far from over. In fact, it has a constant churn, a relentless process of shaping the team for the upcoming season. And right now, Dallas is exploring some interesting options that could have significant implications for their title ambitions. Now, you might be asking, what exactly is going on? Well, the Cowboys have been quite active in scouting and evaluating veteran talent, especially on the defensive backfield. This is a crucial area for any team aiming for deep playoff runs, and Dallas is no exception. The recent reports highlight a handful of veteran players who could soon find themselves donning the star on their helmets. Among the most notable names are two cornerbacks, former Super Bowl champion Robert Rochell and Jerry Jacobs, who has been a key piece for the Detroit Lions, but is now exploring options to return and make an impact in the league again. But before we get into the specifics of these players, let us set the stage. The Cowboys' defensive backfield has been a topic of discussion all offseason. Trevon Diggs, the team's star cornerback, suffered an injury late in the season that raised eyebrows and caused some concern among fans and analysts alike. Diggs, who had been one of the league's premier ballhawks, with 11 interceptions in 2022, was expected to be a cornerstone of Dallas's defense once again. However, his injury has cast some uncertainty over the team's secondary. How effective will he be upon return? Will he be the same player? These questions are weighing on the minds of Cowboys fans, and understandably so. In the meantime, the Cowboys are doing what good teams do, they re-exploring options, testing out veteran talent who can step in if needed. And that is where Robert Rochell and Jerry Jacobs come into play. Let us start with Rochell. This guy has quite an interesting background. Drafted in the 4th round by the Los Angeles Rams back in 2021, he is a player who has been around the league, accumulating some valuable experience over the past 4 seasons. He played a total of 48 games with the Rams and the Green Bay Packers, with whom he spent some time after his stint with the Rams. Interestingly, Rochell was part of the Rams' Super Bowl winning team, which is a huge feather in his cap. That kind of championship experience can be invaluable, especially for a team like the Cowboys that is hungry for another ring. Rochell's role has mostly been on special teams and as a rotational corner, but he has shown flashes of potential as a cover guy. His size and athleticism make him a versatile option, and given his experience, he could step into a depth role or even compete for a starting spot if circumstances demand it. His recent workout with Dallas indicates that the team sees some upside in him, perhaps as a reliable depth piece or even as a potential starter if everything clicks. Then we have Jerry Jacobs. Now, Jacobs is a different story. He is younger, only 27, and has been a starting corner for the Lions over the past few seasons. From 2021 through 2023, Jacobs racked up 40 appearances, starting in 29 of those games. In his last full season with Detroit, he really proved his worth, grabbing 2 interceptions against the Packers in a game that many Cowboys fans would love to have seen in January 2024. His ability to make plays on the ball, combined with his tackling and coverage skills, make him a compelling candidate to rejoin the league and add depth to Dallas's secondary. Jacobs' career has been a bit of a roller coaster. He dealt with injuries, including a knee injury that landed him on injured reserve in January of 2023. He signed with the Rams last year but was released due to an undisclosed injury, and he didn't play throughout the 2024 season. However, he has been working out for teams, including the Commanders, and is eager to make a comeback. At just 27, he has plenty of football left in him, and the Cowboys could be his ticket back to a significant role. His recent performance against Green Bay showed that he still has the playmaking ability and the instincts that made him a starter in Detroit. But of course, these evaluations aren't just about adding players to the roster. They're about filling a vital need. The Cowboys' defensive backfield has been a bit of a question mark lately, especially with Trevon Diggs' injury and the uncertainty surrounding his recovery. If Diggs isn't fully effective, or if he misses some games at the start of the season, Dallas will need reliable options to step up and keep the secondary competitive. The coaching staff, led by Mike McCarthy and defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, are certainly aware of this, and they're redoing their homework looking at veterans who can come in and contribute immediately. It's worth noting that the Cowboys have also been exploring offensive options, including tackles like Noah Fant and other players from the UFL, such as Devere Levelston and Perrion Winfrey, defensive linemen who could add some much-needed beef along the line. But the focus right now is clearly on strengthening the secondary. After all, in the NFL, a team's fate often hinges on the quality of its pass defense. Just look at last season. Teams that could shut down the passing game had a huge advantage in securing playoff wins, and Dallas knows that better than anyone. Now, as fans, we're all eager to see how these evaluations unfold. Will Rochell earn a spot and become a key rotational player? Could Jacobs make a full comeback and fight for a starting role? Or will Dallas bring in another veteran to shore up the cornerback position? These are the questions that keep us on the edge of our seats. The Cowboys' front office is known for their strategic moves, and they're certainly not resting on their laurels after reaching the divisional round last season. The goal is clear: assemble a defense that can contend with the best of the best, especially with the NFC East looking more competitive than ever. And let us not forget the bigger picture. The NFC East has become a battleground, with teams like the Eagles and the Giants making aggressive moves in free agency and the draft. The Cowboys need to respond in kind, and that means not only drafting well, but also making shrewd veteran acquisitions. The secondary is a critical piece of that puzzle, and the upcoming workouts could be the first step toward solidifying that unit. If we look historically at the Cowboys' approach to roster building, they've always valued versatility, leadership, and experience. Players like Rochelle and Jacobs fit that mold perfectly. They bring veteran savvy, playoff experience, and the potential to develop into key contributors. The coaching staff will be evaluating their film, looking at their recent workouts, and assessing how they fit into the team's scheme. It's a process that could take a few more weeks, but the signs point to the Cowboys being very serious about bolstering their defense. And for us, the fans, it's all about patience and anticipation. We want to see this team improve, especially on defense, where last season's struggles in coverage and pass rush were apparent at times. The hope is that these new additions, or at least the competition they create in training camp, will push the existing players to perform at a higher level. The NFC East is always a gauntlet, but with the right moves, the Cowboys can position themselves as the team to beat once again. Now, looking at the broader landscape, the NFL offseason is always full of surprises. Free agency opens up new opportunities, and teams are constantly adjusting their rosters to find the right mix of youth and veteran leadership. Dallas is no stranger to this process. They've built a culture around winning, and that means constantly evaluating their options and making strategic moves. The potential signings of Rochell and Jacobs are just part of that ongoing effort to put the best possible team on the field. And fans, you know how passionate we all are about the Cowboys. We've seen the highs and lows over the years, from Super Bowl victories to heartbreaking playoff losses. But one thing remains constant: the relentless pursuit of excellence. That's what drives Jerry Jones and his front office every day. They're always looking for that edge, that extra piece that can make all the difference in a tight playoff game or a crucial division matchup. So, as we await more news on these veteran workouts and possible signings, one thing is clear: Dallas is not sitting still. They're actively shaping their roster for a deep playoff run, and the secondary might just be the next piece to fall into place. The competition in camp will be fierce, and that's exactly what we want as fans: an intense battle that pushes everyone to perform at their best. The NFC East is shaping up to be one of the most competitive divisions again, and the Cowboys want to lead that charge, not just participate. In conclusion, the story of these veteran defensive backs is just one chapter in the broader narrative of the Cowboys' offseason. It's about resilience, strategic planning, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. We all want to see our team rise once again to the top of the NFC, and these moves could very well be the key to unlocking that potential. So stay tuned, keep your hope alive, and get ready for an exciting season ahead. The Dallas Cowboys are always a team to watch, and this offseason is no different. The future looks promising, and with some smart additions and fierce competition, Dallas might be on the verge of something special once more. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What is your take on these potential signings? Do you think Rochelle and Jacobs can make an impact? Are you confident that the secondary will be solid enough to handle the NFC East's offensive powerhouses? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Cowboys because this is a team built by its fans. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news. This team never stops and neither do we. Thanks for watching, and as always, go Cowboys.